praises on down.
For your blessing.
The praises go up.
Are you ready?
The blessings on down.
For your miracle. Oh, yeah.
Are you ready for your blessing?
Are you ready? Are you ready for your miracle? Blessings keep falling in my life.
Hello, everybody. It's Megan, and we are back with Eggs Benedictine Chats with Campus Men. Today, we are talking with the lovely Sarah Elcori. So Sarah is a junior communication major with an English minor. She's involved in a plethora of different organizations and programs across campus. She's a peer minister in the Office of Campus Ministry. She's the assistant director of CAB, and she's on the SGAE board. Corey, how are you, Sarah?
Good. How are you, Meg?
Good. All right, so let's get started. So was there a moment or experience that solidified your belief in God?
I don't really think there was one specific moment. I feel like there was a lot of just small little God winks, that we like to call it, that kind of helped show that God was present. I think a lot of where I see God in is in other people. So being able to grow up with different types of people with different experiences and different backgrounds helped me to kind of have that God moment experience and really solidify my belief and faith in Him.
Oh, that's awesome. Is there someone specific in your faith that you look up to?
I think there are a lot of different people, my mom being one of them. She is so loyal and faithful in everything that she does. She can go months without going to church, but you'll see her praying every day. She always has my sister, dad, and I in her thoughts and prayers. And I think one of my big mentors at St. A's is one of our campus ministers, Kat, who really helped me understand that I can be who I am and have my specific beliefs while still believing in the church and God and having such a strong faith while helping others in different populations.
That's awesome. Have you ever asked yourself, why am I here? Have you been able to answer that?
I think I ask myself that question almost every day.
Oh, yeah.
It's so hard to try and understand what your role in life is or what your role in this world is. There's like over 6 billion people or something. So trying to understand what your specific job or what you're supposed to be doing and how that affects other people or helps other people is so hard to grasp.
Yeah.
Especially in a daily when you're around so many amazing people and you're like, okay, well, how can I be as good as them or how am I less than them or whatever that may be. So I do question it constantly. And I don't think I've ever really been able to come up with an actual answer for that question. I don't think a lot of us can. But I think it's important to remember that everyone has a role in our lives and other people's lives, no matter how small or how grand it could be. Not being present in someone's life or being present in your own family's life can have such a strong effect on them and how they experience the world. So even if we really don't know what we're here for, just the things that we do daily, whether it be service or just being there for one of our best friends or just kind of being a listening ear, helps us see or at least kind of try to understand that we are meant to be here no matter what we feel or what goes on in the world.
That's awesome. You have such good answers. I love those. Do you find that your faith and spiritual values kind of play a role in like your vocation, like your work, your school, your different roles on campus?
I really think they do, and I didn't start realizing this until like recently, I think, maybe this semester. I love being there for other people and kind of supporting them in all that they do, and I have such strong passions with certain populations, and when it comes to service, that's kind of where my heart lies. And even just the small interactions that I have with close friends or people that I begin to meet, I never realized how much God and my faith kind of plays a role in that until I'm like, oh, well, I'm going to dinner really quick and then I'm going to go to mass on Wednesday. Do you want to come with me? Or like kind of inviting them and being that hand that reaches out has kind of been a new thing I've noticed, I guess, and
Yeah.
I didn't realize that I did that as much as I have noticed now. So I do think it does, and I think that your faith and your empathy for other people plays such a strong and important role in how you perceive other populations or other people,
Yeah.
and how you kind of want to understand that they're human just like we are, and their experiences are the same exact experiences that other people can be facing. And even if we can't truly understand what they're going through, being that ear of empathy and trying to support them in any way
Yeah.
has such a grand effect, rather than ignoring and leaving them
Yeah.
behind.
I really like that expression you use, the ear of empathy. I think that's really beautiful, and just being there for others, like no matter who they are, because I think a lot of times we forget that, and a lot of times people forget that about like our faith, is that like God loves everyone, and sometimes we forget that. So I think that was really, really beautiful that you put that.
Thank you.
So what made you want to be a peer minister?
I I think it's really funny that I am a peer minister, to be honest. I don't think I literally do not know a single Bible verse from the Bible off the top of my head. Like, I'm not somebody that could probably be seen as an actual peer minister. I think that the reason why I wanted to be one was more so because I understood how much I struggled with my faith, and like how deeply I questioned God, and how like I really wondered if there was an actual God in this world, and like how somebody so grand and so amazing could put people through such negative and low impacts, I guess, and struggles, that I felt like other people had the same, somewhere someone would have had like, the same experience or the same thought or the same idea of spirituality and faith. And I kind of wanted to be that listening ear and kind of be the person that's like, well, you know what? I have had the same thought. I still have similar thoughts throughout the days, throughout the years, months, whatever it may be. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with feeling like that. And there's nothing wrong with doubt and trying to find answers to questions that are really just all about hope and faith in someone else or something else. And even with those thoughts, it's all about really figuring out and finding your own answer to those questions. It's not really something where you have to say specifically, yes, there is a God and I know exactly what it is. I can see it, I can hear it, but it's more so having that personal feeling and connection with something else or something grand. And I wanted to be the person that could be like, honestly, I have no idea what this means, and I can get an answer for you. But right now, I can just be the person that listens to you and tries to understand with you as I'm trying to understand. And a lot of my peer ministry is me learning from other people that have much better ideas and much better thoughts about it. But it's a way to kind of grasp new experiences and meet new people and kind of understand different things about them.
I think that's fantastic. That's like kind of one of the goals of this podcast, is kind of what you were saying, that like there's no one level of holiness. Like, you don't need to know every verse of the Bible. You don't need to know any verse of the Bible to like have faith and believe in something greater. And so I think like your reasoning for wanting to be a peer minister, wanting to be that ear of empathy, that listening ear again, is just so fantastic. And like really what we like need in this world is more people like that. So I think you're doing absolutely fantastic. I'm so impressed by you.
Thank you.
A few more questions, maybe.
Yeah, whatever you want.
When do you feel God's presence? You kind of talked about that earlier in people, I think you kind of said.
So I definitely do feel them in people and in others around me. I do see them so much in my friends and people that I love, but I also think that being at St. A's and kind of having different sort of experiences, I've seen it a lot more in other populations around either Manchester or Massachusetts if I do service there. One in particular I think that continuously stands out to me is Lazarus House. When I was there, we were just doing cleanup for the house specifically, and it was on a Saturday. And this like is a memory I don't think I'll ever forget, and it still chokes me up all the time. But Lazarus House is a home for people who are homeless or are kind of in transition, and it's a place where they can come to for a few months and kind of get themselves back up on their feet. And it can be families, women, men, single, married, whatever it may be. And there was a Saturday where we went last year, and we finished up and we're getting ready to leave, and this family came in to just say hi, and they were going to the kitchen and stuff. And there was this little boy, I cannot remember his name for the life of me, but he knew nothing of what we were doing there. Like, he didn't know who we were, he didn't know what we were doing, but he just literally just ran up to me and was like, "Hi, how are you?" And I was like, "Good, how are you?" He was like, "Good, thank you so much for coming, and it was great to see you guys here." And I was like, oh my gosh, this little boy, he was probably 3 or 4, maybe 5, and he didn't know anything about us. He didn't know who we were. He didn't know what we were doing there. He didn't even know that we had cleaned the house, and he didn't even need to know anything, but he just came up and said thank you, and just stood there for a little bit and was talking to us and gave me hugs. And it was just such a powerful, I think, impact for me that someone so little and doesn't really understand what's happening can just open up to complete strangers and say thank you and not even understand or know what they're thanking somebody for, and kind of showing that love that a lot of other people much older don't know how to show. So I think through those interactions with just complete strangers and like being able to have those experiences and like really see what they see or feel or try to understand them and really kind of be open with them has helped me see God in so many different ways. And I think that's kind of the bigger times that I see God through service and through people that I don't know, and just whether it's someone out walking or someone that's homeless and I'm kind of talking to them and helping them, or if we're at Dismas House and I'm working with the women there or just cooking dinner with them, having those interactions kind of really makes you think there is a God out there and there is somebody that's kind of pulling or pushing people along and helping them better themselves and helping them be open and loving to other people that they don't even know.
I love that. I got chills. So good.
Oh my goodness.
All right, so final question.
Okay.
The hardest question. If you could be a breakfast food, what would you be?
Oh my gosh. Oh geez. I honestly don't even like breakfast foods that much.
Be like coffee, orange juice,
Okay.
whatever suits your
Let's
fancy.
see.
Cereal.
So coffee is definitely top of the list. An iced Americano with, depending on the size, if it's a grande, 2 pumps of sugar-free vanilla. If it's a venti, 4. It really just has to depend on that. But if it's an actual food item, I really have to go with like a hash brown bagel sandwich with an egg. But the egg has to be well done and the hash browns have to be well done. It can't be like the slimy egg part of it.
Yeah, no.
And some like fruits, like a strawberry, blueberries on the side. Something
Alright.
a little,
Just a little
just
pop of
a
color.
little pop of color right there.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you so much for talking to me. You were an absolute delight.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad I came and talked to you. It was awesome.
Thank you.
Of course.